Travel Michigan. I'm Dave Lorenz, along with Michelle Benash. And boy, you know what? I love festivals. I actually got into this business through the festival business. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I do know we have a lot of them, so it's good that you love them.
Yeah, it's true. Well, and in fact, we have one coming up, one of the many coming up soon to Mackinac Island that we get to learn all about.
Absolutely. We are talking with Mary McGuire-Sullivan, Executive Director of the Mackinac Island Tourism Bureau. And Mary, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you guys have Lilac Festival coming up June 7th through the 16th. And I know that there's always a lot of things going on the island, but this is a really big one.
It is. It really is the festival that kicks off summer for us and celebrates the beautiful flowers. You know, the lilacs are everywhere here. We were fortunate to have them planted back around the 1850s. And Mackinac Island, actually, I think our one of the International Lilac Society guys, Jeff Young, he leads our Walk and Talk with Lilacs, quoted saying that Mackinac Island is the Garden of Eden for lilacs.
Oh, it really is. Well, like you say, they've been there for so long. You know, most lilac bushes are, little bushes, but in Mackinac, they're like trees.
They are.
They're really something else. I mean, how did they end up on Mackinac Island so long ago? Any idea?
Well, we have some ideas. Trish Martin, that she runs the Bogan Lane Inn, and she was a botany major at Central. She's been studying the lilacs and writing about them in our town crier for a long time, and I've been writing about Mackinac Island for a long time. So we kind of got together, and we were coming up with this thing that it's possible that Gordon Hubbard, who was here with the fur company, may have been the one that brought the lilacs here, because we don't have any recollection of lilacs prior to the fur trade era. Mm-hmm. And oddly enough, Gordon Hubbard came here as a teenager to work for the Astors, and his family had a big lilac farm out in Vermont. So we're thinking that maybe he brought the lilacs because they're planted. The oldest ones are all planted at former fur trading offices or posts. The William Backhouse Astor House, and then the town hall and over down by the church. So we're thinking that maybe they were gifts from him, but we don't have any real records. The first record that we have of lilacs is in Henry David Thoreau's book, Minnesota Journeys. He came here and he did a whole list of all of the plant life on Mackinac Island, where he documented lilacs in the 1850s.
Well, it's interesting. If you're in the UP and you're in the middle of the woods, and all of a sudden you see a lilac bush, and usually accompanied by a couple of really old apple trees. Mm-hmm. What that probably means is that there was a homestead there, because they weren't naturally, just growing in this area.
Right, not at all.
But they're so beautiful and they smell so nice, and especially in an area that's pretty defined, a small little area like Mackinac Island. This is the time of the year just to, pull in all that aroma and that atmosphere. It is literally a beautiful Eden, as you say.
Yeah, we had the perfect winter for the lilac, too, because lilacs love to be left alone. They love a ton of snow. They love it when they get to go dormant in the winter and come back. So we had such a healthy winter this year and so much snow that, the lilacs are definitely, profiting from that.
And what are some of the things that folks can do? How are you celebrating the lilac through this festival?
Well, the one thing that we do, I thought it was really important to have a symposium on the lilac. So Jeff Young, who is our lilac expert here, he comes here from Sherburne Gardens in Vermont, and he's also a professor of lilacs at University of Vermont in their horticulture department. So he comes and he does this thing we call Walk and Talk with Lilacs, where he takes groups of people out to different areas downtown of our lilacs and talks about the genus, the specific lilacs that he's standing in front of, also how to prune them, how to care for them, how to feed them. And his wife, Jan, who's also really knowledgeable of lilacs, does a thing at St. Anne's Church where they transplant them. They bring a whole bunch, they pick them up on their way here, and they bring a bunch of small little, lilac starter plants, and we actually give them away to people. And they can learn how to transplant them and care for them, and everyone gets a little sheet that tells them, where to plant them in their yard and make sure they have plenty of sun, lots of space, lots of drainage in the soil. Mm-hmm. Lilacs don't like deep dirt. They like it shallow. hence why Mackinac is such a good place. So that's that's the really important part of the festival, is to learn about the lilacs. Then we have, the coronation of the Lilac Festival Queen with our Mayor Margaret Dowd, who once herself was a Lilac Festival Queen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is really sweet.
Wow.
And the Grand Hotel Orchestra comes down and performs a concert for free for an hour prior to that, and that really kicks off the festival. And then we have architectural walking tours, and we have a couple nature hikes, and of course, the Grand Hotel luncheon buffet and afternoon tea. We celebrate that as well because it's lovely, just things that are lovely to do. And we have lots of concerts this year from June 9th through the 13th. We have Detroit Music Award winner Audra Kubat coming to perform, and she's a fantastic singer-songwriter, and she'll be performing at Windermere Point all of those afternoons. And then we have the big culinary event, Taste of Mackinac, at the Harborview Inn.
That's all the same week?
Yeah, there's a ton. We have a dog and pony show. We have, we have history tours. We have the Ugly Ann boat takes people out on harbor history tours, and there's so much going on.
Well, and when you say you have a dog and pony show, you really have a dog and pony show.
We seriously have a dog and pony show.
You're here barking and neighing.
Is it all kinds of dogs, or is it a specific type of dog?
The really exciting thing, that is Saturday, June 15th. I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite events of the year. Detroit Dog Rescue is coming this year, and we have the Greyhounds from Eastern Michigan. A lot of times we have Mid-Michigan Boxer Rescue, all sorts of Paws with the Cause, Therapy Dogs International, Leader Dogs for the Blind, Puppy Raisers. I try to make it a humanitarian thing to really sort of illustrate to the general public about rescue dogs and what dogs do for society. And, we've had Vinny, the dog that won the Iditarod here. We've had the Mid-Michigan Kennels. They train all the police dogs in Michigan. So we've had, bomb-sniffing dogs, all sorts of stuff. And then we have a big show with Dan Wallen. And Dan is I guess you could call him a horse whisperer. And he's a trainer. And this year he's bringing a horse, a pony, and a mini, and we set up one ring at Windermere Point, and he goes out there, and his horses roll over, lay down, they count, they dance, they talk. I mean, it's great.
Isn't that funny? Usually when you think about a festival in Michigan, about this time of the year, you're thinking of carousels and all these rides and coney dogs and caramel corn and whatever. So, to have kind of a more refined, almost Victorian charm type festival to kind of kick off the season is pretty cool.
Thank you. I think that's the nice thing about Mackinac is that, I love carousels and I love carnivals and I love all of that. But here, we have horses to ride, so we really don't need carousels. And we have this beautiful state park that you can hop on a bicycle and go up and down all the hills, so you don't need roller coasters. And so it's, I guess they used to call us for a long time America's natural theme park, in a way. But I think there's so much to do on Mackinac Island, and I really wanted to kind of harken back to those days. The dog and pony shows really got started when circuses were traveling through town, and a couple of the acts would take off to another town and do a short little show, while they were on the road. Yeah,
well, and it really is a great deal of fun, and it's a festival, like I say, of a different sort, something that you're going to enjoy. And if you think it's only for adults, no, it's not. It really is an all-family event. You should really consider going there. Spend the night, spend the weekend, have a good time at Mackinac Island during Lilac Festival. You're going to enjoy it. June 7th through the 16th. And if you'd like more information, all you have to do is go to this website, MackinacIslandLilacFestival.org. Now remember, that's Mackinac with a C, MackinacIslandLilacFestival.org for more information. Of course, we have a link from Michigan.org. Thank you, Mary. Mary McGuire-Slevin, Executive Director of the Mackinac Island Tourism Bureau. Can't wait for Lilac Festival. A lot of other festivals and events happening all throughout the state. Absolutely. With Memorial Day coming up just next weekend, there are all sorts of kickoff to summer events for the auto lovers. You can head to Tri-City Motor Speedway in Auburn for Memorial Weekend stock car races. That's May 24th through 25th. And Michigan's Adventure Amusement Park and Wild Water Adventure is having their kickoff to summer Rock the Coast 2013, May 24th through the 25th. 2 nights of concerts as well as days in the park and a wild water adventure on Saturday. For the history folks out there, the Civil War's Days reenactment at Heritage Park in Coldwater, Michigan is happening Friday through Sunday, the 24th through the 26th. Experience living history in the 1860s with
period demonstration, campsites, the battle at Gettysburg, all free all free admission. The Whitney restaurant in Detroit is hosting a hunting special dinner where they'll talk about you'll get to eat, and apparently the Whitney is one of the most has some of the most paranormal activity in Michigan. I didn't know. So that's happening May 25th, and of course Memorial Day weekend tradition at Crystal Mountain, the Michigan Beer and Brat Festival, Saturday, May 25th. And you can find this, many, many more. There's more. The list keeps going on at Michigan.org.
I was at the Whitney for dinner recently, and no ghosts, but really good food.
Well, see, it's a win-win.
Yeah, it is a win-win. Yes, I enjoyed it. It was great. Okay, thank you, Michelle. And we're going to be reminded what it's like to go camping, because it is that time of the year. It's almost time to put that tent back up, pull out the sleeping bag, have a great time out there. But maybe you've not done it yet. We're going to tell you how to do it next, right here on Travel Michigan, where your trip begins at Michigan.org.